Circulars which are issued by ministries or departments are the legitimate process of issuing instructions or advisories for a strong and continuous public service. Violating circulars which are issued in accordance with the law is a punishable offence under the Institutional Code. The violation of circulars by responsible officials who issue the circulars themselves is a prime cause of several problems which arise around the public service. The education service is one of the sectors in which the violation of circulars is not uncommon. At the time that the current Secretary to the Ministry of Education was appointed, the sector had been blighted by several decisions that had been made in violation of existing circulars. Thereby, what the Secretary should have done was to ensure that there was proper supervision to ensure that decisions taken in the education sector did not violate circulars. However, statements made by the Secretary during the early days of his tenure establishes that the Secretary held a very different concept in his mind. The Secretary had said on several occasions that he would take steps to update existing circulars issued by the Ministry of Education. Although the concept of updating is commendable, what the Education Secretary intends to do through this process of updating circulars can only be clarified after he has actually updated them. A letter addressed by the Education Secretary 2 days prior shows that copies of a circular which had been drafted and then withdrawn more than 2 years ago by the then Education Secretary had been circulated across the island. The letter also notes that a certain group had issued false circulars as the second part of Circular number 4 of 2005 issued by the Secretary to the Ministry of Education to certain provincial and zonal education directors. The Secretary says in his letter that these acts are part of a plan to sabotage the education sector. If a certain individual or group intends on sabotaging education, it is a serious issue. The other more serious issue is that the Education Secretary was unable to identify for more than 2 years the rogue circular issued on the 7th of January 2011. In a similar manner, education authorities accepted before the public that such roguish acts had taken place at the adjacent Department of Examinations as well, after the Criminal Investigations Department conducted an investigation and proved the same. It was also proven that this roguish act was carried out with internal support. Doesn't the failure to call in the CID and investigate the issuing of rogue circulars from Isrupaya to determine if similar circumstances as the incident at the Department of Examinations prevailed translate into opening the door for plans to sabotage the education sector? Secretary to the Ministry of Education, this one is over to you.